Well, time now to check in what's trending at 10A, and Kevin is on standby because we are starting off with the 5 most talked about moments from last night's Oscars. Take a look.
Safe, and most importantly, we want me to feel safe. So we have strict policies in place. If anyone in this theater commits an act of violence at any point during the show, you will be awarded the Oscar for Best Actor and permitted to give a 19-minute-long speech. No, but seriously, the Academy has a crisis team in place. If anything unpredictable or violent happens during the ceremony, just do what you did last year. Nothing.
That was Jimmy Kimmel finally joking about the elephant in the room. The host saved his comments about that Will Smith slap until the very end of his opening monologue. The Good Day team behind the scenes stayed up late to give our viewers all the highlights. That includes Kevin. You stayed up late as well. And Kev, what did you think about the awards show just in general?
I love the show. And Holly, by the way, remind me to tell you, I have an Air Force One story where I accidentally ran into President Obama because of Air Force One, and I'll tell you the whole story later on at some point.
Yeah.
It's a crazy story. All right, the show itself was amazing. I thought it was incredibly paced. I was very happy with the way the show went in terms of treating movies and giving them an honor of understanding why we love movies so much. The show reminded me why I love going to the movies, and I feel like we are now back in a good space now with people going to the theaters with obviously the Creed box office, Top Gun, and Avatar. So last night's show just kind of made me feel like we were back in that love of film and cinema again. In terms of the awards, I thought the awards were great. The speeches were fantastic, and I thought Kimmel did a great job hosting the show.
All right, Kev, let's get into the music from last night. That was another big one.
Yeah, the music was incredible. First of all, the Lady Gaga performance I thought was brilliant. It was stripped down. I love the black shirt, black pants, and the Chuck Taylors. Obviously, you're seeing Rihanna right now, who did an amazing performance of Lift Me Up from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Emotional. Again, the whole night was emotional. I cried multiple times throughout the night in terms of the speeches, but even during these songs, it was just, there was something special. That room felt special last night. Every speech felt special. Every song felt special. Every awards felt special. So I was blown away by the musical performances. I love the movie RRR. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. But the performance for that song, Not To, which ended up winning Best Original Song, I was so happy with that win last night. I think Hold My Hand was my favorite of the 5, which was the Lady Gaga Top Gun Maverick song, but obviously with Rihanna's song, Lift Me Up. I mean, it was a really great night for music.
Yeah, I love that dance sequence.
Yeah.
And Not To.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Have you seen
really
RRR?
Cool. Yeah, I have not seen the movie, but I've seen that sequence on YouTube. It has close to 300 million views.
Watch it. It is one of the most incredible films I've ever seen. It's so interesting and so much fun. I loved it.
Well, we have to get on the history of last night. I want to get everyone's take on that. It was a big night for that at the ceremony. Michelle Yeoh, first Asian woman to win Best Actress and second woman of color to win in that category. And costume designer Ruth E. Carter becoming the first black woman to win 2 Oscars, her second for costume design on Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the awards were incredible. I would rather have seen, I would rather have seen Angela Bassett win for Best Supporting Actress over Jamie Lee Curtis, even though I thought Jamie Lee Curtis was great. But in terms of the Michelle Yeoh win, I mean, that was a huge, massive win for her. I mean, she's had an incredible career in Hollywood, and this was a role that came along, like Ke Huy Quan said in his speech, like you take time off because the roles you want aren't there, and then all of a sudden this film comes along, and Everything Everywhere All at Once is giving a vehicle to actors who are looking for parts like this, and it really was a game changer. And Michelle Yeoh winning, and Ke Huy Quan winning, and Jamie Lee Curtis, and that movie winning Best Picture. It was really nice.
I do have to ask you, though, you brought up Jamie Lee Curtis versus Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
If not Jamie Lee Curtis, who do you think could have and should have won over Angela Bassett if it wasn't going to go in her favor?
Well, I mean, so this is an interesting thing. I've been saying this a long time throughout this award season. The awards are happening too late. So what happens is momentum ends up shifting. So, for example, Angela Bassett had the momentum. She won the Golden Globe. I mean, she was favored to win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, and she deserved it. The Have I Not Given Everything speech is one of the best scenes I've seen from a performance perspective perspective in a long time. And if you missed our interview with her where she explained that scene, you can go to fox5dc.com. But the reason why Jamie Lee Curtis won last night, I feel like, is because the Oscars happened so late. So basically, by the time the voting got around to finishing, the momentum for Angela Bassett had kind of fizzled out, and then Jamie Lee Curtis started, campaigning or whatever she was doing in terms of her, what she was doing to go out and talk to people. But people love Jamie Lee Curtis. She's beloved in the industry, and so is Angela Bassett. But again, because of the momentum and the time frame, Angela already had her momentum, and then by the time voting finished, it was kind of fizzled out, unfortunately. And I do think she should have won, in all honesty. But
I think Jamie Lee was surprised that she won.
Oh,
At least
yes.
her reaction indicated that she
But
was. Yeah.
Jamie won the SAG, so that's kind of a SAG is a big indicator, and the SAGs were, I think, a couple weeks ago or last week, and that's pretty indicative of like what happens with the Oscar voting. And in terms of her winning, and Brendan Fraser obviously won the SAG for acting, and then he won last night. So Jamie Lee just kind of hit the momentum at the right time. I thought Austin Butler was going to try and sneak in there because his momentum was spiking, but Brendan Fraser kind of rode that wave, which was great. So.
Okay, and finally, let's talk about that Tim's dress. The singer-songwriter got slammed for blocking the view of really everybody sitting behind her. What say you? It looked nice on the red carpet, I'll say, the champagne color carpet, but
I mean,
people were blocked.
Listen, I understand the perspective of wearing something and what it means and whatever the statement would mean for that, but that's just straight up rude. I'm sorry. It just is. I mean, there are people sitting behind her who want to see the show. I mean, I want to see who's sitting behind her, and I can't even see who's sitting behind her. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I found that to be a really rude thing. I don't know about y'all. I mean, I understand. Again, it could mean something personal. It could be a statement. I have absolutely no idea what the emotional connection to that specific outfit is. I don't follow fashion. But I will say that to sit in front of people like that and not be able to see and past that what she's wearing, I think that's rude. I don't know. I don't know
like
what y'all
a convertible car option.
Yeah,
You know, where you
should have
can
been
like
able to
put
take
it
it
down
down.
or put it up.
I agree.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. All right. Here's a real question. Thank you, Kevin. We want to know what you watched last night. The Oscars, The Last of Us season finale, or something else, or nothing at all. You can vote on our website, or you can scan the QR code at the top of the screen.
Oh, I did forget Last of Us.
Yeah, that was on.
The finale was yesterday. I will say I didn't see many people talking about it on Twitter. So I wonder, I know there were some concerns about the Oscars and that show going head to head. I wonder what the ratings are for the two, one compared to the other. So, all right. We won't give away the finale, though.
This is true.
Yeah.